Hello, you beautiful people. My name's Joe, and I live in Get Good Drums. And this video I thought I would make is about how to program realistic accented snare rolls. So a snare roll is basically a fast-ish succession of snare hits all put together. So this is I've programmed it out very basically, and it doesn't necessarily sound bad, but it's not very realistic in terms of how a human would actually play this. So let's take a listen, and then I'll show you how to make it sound more realistic. So it doesn't sound bad, as I said, but it's not very realistic, and I'm going to show you why it's not realistic and how to rectify it. So in Logic, these colors represent different MIDI velocities. So if I do this and move it up, you can see it changes color as I do so. So as you can see, these accents are all the same color, and these softer hits are all the exact same color. And you can see that here too. All the greens are 55, all the reds are 118, and those are fine velocities to pick. But the fact that they are all exactly the same velocity means it's just not realistic. It's not how a human would play it, because humans kind of suck and aren't robots, and are therefore imperfect. And even the most precise drummer, one hit from the other is not going to be the exact same velocity. This also displays the velocities, and I want to look at this. So as you can see, at the moment, it's kind of like in almost like an offset square wave. So you've got accent, then down, accent, down, accent, down, accent, down. I've said this loads before, but I'll keep saying it. If you want to learn how to program drummers, if you want to learn how to program drums realistically, go and watch videos of drummers. Go and study them. If you can, get your hands on drum stems and study those and see how the velocities work. It's very common for a drummer, for instance, to always hit slightly harder with their more dominant hand. So if they're a right-handed drummer, they might hit slightly harder even when sort of trying to keep the same velocities with their dominant hand, the right hand. So if they're a right-handed drummer playing this snare fill, the accent is going to be on their right hand 99 times out of 100. So we can assume that they're doing right, left, right, left. So we're going to take the softer right hand hit, and we're going to just make that slightly louder. Let's hear that. So now you can hear there's subtle inconsistencies, which is kind of what we're actually going for. Now, the next thing that is very common is before an accent, especially if there's a wide dynamic range between the accent and the softer hits, the hit before the accent can often, just because if you think about a drummer hitting a drum, when they do the accent, they're going to bring their hand up before hitting it. And often just the movement of the body can lead them to hit a slightly harder hit before the accent with the other hand. So we're going to highlight these and bring those up. Now I don't want to bring these up to louder necessarily as these, so we're going to experiment with dropping these down a bit. So already sounding more realistic. And now you can then sort of just go wild adjusting the velocities. So I don't want all these to be the same. And this is where you could use a humanizing function. So MIDI transform humanize. Don't want to alter the position. Don't want to alter the length. Operate only. You can see that's changed those, but I don't really want to do that for this because I want to try and have a bit more control. So we'll just go in and adjust them manually. Sounding good. And so it's subtle, but aiming for realism, the detail is in the subtleties that you need to apply. So that's kind of the idea. It's nothing crazy, but it's something to apply. And you can apply this to, toms, kick drums, even cymbals. But before we go, I want to show you another cool trick. If a drummer does this kind of snare fill, one thing they often do is accent or bring up the volume drastically of the hit before the accent, and that can create a really cool effect. So I'll just show you what that sounds like quickly. It's really cool. Drummer I got taught by in uni called Jason Bold, who now plays for Bullet for My Valentine, does this a lot. Just creates this kind of like rolling effect as opposed to, which is a lot straighter and more rigid. Okay, there's some little tips about how to program realistic snare rolls, and also a little tip about how to spice them up a bit. So I hope this was useful, and if you have any ideas for programming tutorials you want me to cover, let me know in the comments and I will make them. All right, I love you guys very much and have a wonderful day.